So now I'm going to show you some walking exercises. These are easy. You can do them in your home. It's always good to do them on a mat or a carpet instead of a hard, solid surface. So what you want to do is, this again really works to strengthen all the muscles in your ankles. So you want to really have strong ankles but loose. Now some of the exercises we saw before loosen the ankles. These strengthen the ankles by strengthening all the muscles around them. So there's 4 sides of your feet: the back, the front, the outside, and the inside. Okay, so all it is just walking on all 4 sides. And I do these for 20 seconds twice. So 2 reps of 20 seconds. So I'm going to start by walking on my heels. And you can walk back and forth. You can go both directions. Heels. Good. And then you want to do 2 of those. And then you want to get on your toes, walk on your toes. So you can see I'm up on my toes. But what I'm also doing while I'm up on my toes is I'm trying to curl my feet down. So I'm pressing into the mat with my toes. I'm not just walking on the balls of my heels. I'm actually pressing in with my toes. So if I go on my toes, I can walk this way, and I'm pushing down into the mat with my toes. I can do it back. You can even see my toe prints. Okay. And then twice for 20 seconds. Then I walk on the outsides of my feet. You can see this is going to strengthen all the medial muscles of my leg. For those of you with flat feet, this is a great exercise. Helps strengthen your arches. Okay. So I walk on the outsides. And then I walk on the insides of my feet. And this obviously strengthens the lateral muscles on the outside of my legs, okay? So I just walk back and forth. 20 seconds on each one of these, and then go back and repeat the whole thing again. So twice through. So remember, back, front, outside, and inside. So we just covered some walking exercises. Now I'm going to go over adjustments that you should make to your running if you're trying to cure yourself from plantar fasciitis or fasciosis. So the first thing to do is to shorten your stride. If you're especially if you know that you're an overstrider or a heel striker, anything like that, those are the biggest causes of plantar fasciosis or fasciitis. So you want to shorten your stride. If you overstride, that just really increases the hit of your heel onto the road as it passes by. Shorten your stride. The next thing to do is, while you're helping yourself through a period of plantar fasciitis, you want to run on a flat surface. The flatter the better. And if you can run on a soft surface, that's even better. So if it's a dirt bike path, trail is good as long as it's flat. You don't want to be running uphill when you're trying to get through plantar fasciitis, because it can really pull that muscle just too much while it's trying to reattach or heal or get circulation in there. So keep it flat, keep it soft, and keep your stride shorter. So just think shrinking everything down, making it easier on your feet. The other thing in terms of what to do through your actual running, in the Chi running technique, we talk about having a circular stride. Now that circular stride is where you're running and you're bending your knees so that your heels come up behind you, and your feet actually take kind of a circular stride, so that as the road comes by, you know, your feet are swept in the direction rearward. Okay. If you have a pendular stride and your feet swing back and forth, when the road comes, you're just going to be hitting the road, you know, stride after stride. So if you can bend your knees when you run so that the road comes along and you move with the road, that's the best way to reduce impact on your heels. Okay. The other thing that comes from Chi running is that you want to make sure when you're running, you keep your posture nice and tall, except that you fall forward as you run. Okay. Just having a slight forward fall where your posture stays good, but your whole posture column falls in front of your feet. This creates a pull of gravity to pull you forward. It's just, you can do it standing up right now. If you keep your body straight and just let your whole body fall forward, you will feel something pulling you. That's gravity. So it's taking advantage of gravity so you don't have to push so hard with your feet. So the whole idea that I'm trying to teach through Chi running is to really reduce all of the work done by the lower legs, and that includes toeing off, pushing with your toes, which really smacks in the face of how everybody thinks that you're supposed to run, is by pushing with your legs. It's really done more effectively and with less injury to your lower legs if you can just pick up your feet and let them fall down. Pick up your feet. It's not pushing your body forward with each stride. It's just falling and then picking up your feet to keep up with your fall. Now, the last thing I would like to talk about, and probably also one of the biggest causes of plantar fasciitis, is the wrong shoe. Okay, if your shoes are pointed, your running shoes, if they bend that big toe inward, it's going to pull on all the muscles through here, and it can cut off their circulation to your plantar fascia. That's what this does. So if you've seen people, or maybe your own feet look like this, if you've worn pointy-toed shoes your whole life, you can see that big toe is bent in, all right? When that bends in, it starts pulling everything from the heel forward, and it can cut off circulation, and that's where you can get plantar fasciitis. So I suggest you get a shoe that's foot-shaped. These are great shoes. They have a nice wide toe box, nice rounded. This is the shape most people's foot is. Now, if you have a foot that's really narrow and pointed, it doesn't matter that much. But you want to make sure that your feet have lots of room, that your shoe is very flexible, especially right at the metatarsal heads. You don't want to have a shoe that bends in the middle. Okay, there are shoes out on the market where they bend right in the middle, and it really pulls on that plantar fascia. You want a shoe that just rolls with your foot, just like your foot does. So soft, flexible, flatter is better. Try to avoid shoes with a heel. These are a zero-drop shoe. They're wonderful for your feet. They are the shape of your foot. They stay flat like your foot was born. And they're flexible enough to allow your foot to just be a foot. It's really just a foot covering with some cushioning in it. When it comes to cushioning in your shoes, you don't want super cushioned shoes, because then your ankles have to tighten up to stabilize every step you take. You know, if you can imagine always walking on a big piece of foam, it creates instability, so your ankles have to kind of take over and grip. You want to have shoes that maybe have some cushioning. I like some with a little cushioning, but I don't really recommend at all the really thickly cushioned shoes, and especially the ones with a big built-up heel. So flexible, wide, comfortable, and you will find that plantar fasciitis is no longer in your life. But this is really one of the biggest causes, is the shoes.